have Gracie Bolan from Inno'vin that she is connected with us. Hi, Gracie.
Hello, everybody. You can hear me okay?
Perfect. Yes.
Great.
So for this second part, we will start with a video of ISVV, the Institute of Science and Vine, and then we will pass with a presentation that Gracie will present us. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. Pardon. Okay, so Gracie, now I give you the space to continue.
Thank you, Anna. Can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so hi, everybody. Like Anna said, my name is Gracie Boland, and I'm the International Project Manager for Inno'vin, a company that I will explain to you later. But first, it's important for you to understand about the Wine and Vine Science Institute in Bordeaux. So it's really the center of all of the research and knowledge exchange in Bordeaux and internationally. So I'll skip the videos that Anna just showed, and now I'm going to talk a little bit about what you saw in the video. So first, a little bit of history. So the University of Bordeaux was actually started in 1441, and I know that Georgia also has a ton of wine history, so it's interesting to see that it goes way back many centuries, but the ISVV was not found until 2009. This was because of a real need for training, research, and especially technology transfer in the field of wine and wine growing. And like you saw in the video, it's a really big space, almost 10,000 meters squared of research facilities, classrooms, and also experimental vineyards. So a little bit of the numbers of the Institute. There are 250 researchers that stay in Bordeaux, that travel, some are international and come visit. Over 500 students, French and international. Again, 55 international partners. So it's really important for the ISVV to participate in programs like Interco has organized to work with other wine industries and share this knowledge and research. There are 4 technology transfer and spin-off units, and I'm going to give an example of those because Inno'vin, my company, is one of the spin-off units of the ISVV. And so the main ideas, so it's to grouping together the public and private institutes and actors in the wine sector. So of course, there's the scientific research, not only in the wine and vine, but wine tourism, marketing, environments, consumers. So it's really everything that has to do with the wine industry. Then of course, teaching, and then technology transfer and international networking. So I wanted to share an example of a collaboration with technology transfer. So there's a company called Inno'vin who makes sampling valves that you can see connected to the tank there. And so they worked with the researchers at the ISVV to test their solution. So what's really important, it's not only about research at the ISVV, but connecting companies to the research. And there was really good results. And so that's just an example of how supplier companies can work with the ISVV to test their solutions. So here's just an example of some of the diplomas that are offered at the ISVV. So there's all levels starting from a bachelor degree. So after the high school level, bachelor's, master's, special diplomas, like a 2-week course, maybe engineering, or a national diploma. So it's really open for any type of wine professional, winemakers, wine tourism professionals. There is a program for everyone. You can see at the high school level, there is wine tastings, enology, pruning, and shoot section, so wine and vine. And then once you get into the university and master's levels, you can go anywhere from wine tourism to biology. Again, anything that touches on the wine sector. And also lots of international students are always welcome. And I'll get to that secondly. So the 3 major themes of the research and transfer are quality and character of wine, the environment, and the wine markets. And so like the example that I talked about earlier for Inno'vin, they worked with 2 of these technology transfer units, Amaranth and Microflora, to test their product with the research of the ISVV, excuse me. And now I'm going to talk a little more about the international network of the ISVV. So one important actor is Inno'vin International, which was also launched at the same time as the ISVV. And this is a really big network, the first and the only international network in oenology and viticulture. And the idea is to join training and research products. And so researchers from the ISVV and academics from all over the world will meet together twice a year and decide projects and work together to make visible the research to companies and to consumers. So as you can see, there's 62 partners in 10 working groups, for example, sponsors, climate change, young researchers, which I think is interesting, wine management and tourism. So the idea of these working groups is to have academics and professionals from all over the winemaking world to work together to find solutions to the challenges that wine producers and the market are experiencing today. The next big group is supposed to be, the next big meeting is planned in Japan for 22, COVID pending. And then I'll send you some more information in the chat about the Inno'vin network if that interests you. So some things that are funded by this international network are projects. So for example, there's an Erasmus project called the Wine Tour. And that's a group of students who travel around to 15 different countries and study wine in these countries. And it's international, so not only French students, but international students. They travel all around the world, and that's funded by Inno'vin. Another example is the WISE project, and this is sponsored by the European Union, and it's European and non-European countries, again, and most of these projects are bringing together researchers, doctoral students, and professionals all around the world to promote the wine research. And I wanted to share with you some of the alliances that have been established by the ISVV and other international wine institutes. For example, there's the Bordeaux Adelaide Genghis partnership, again, research in wine and vine, and then also in South Africa. And so there's a possibility to work with you in Georgia, and we would be very interested too. And so the main idea that I wanted to share with you about the ISVV is the importance of international cooperation and the idea of connecting research in the labs to the companies. Because without this collaboration, well, the wine wouldn't be as good as we're drinking it now. And it's really important to have the researchers and the companies and these transfer units to help everything go smoothly. So I did this presentation on behalf of my colleagues at the ISVV, Agath and Nicholas. So if you do have any questions, I'm going to share their contact information with you, and we'd be happy to tell you more about the ISVV.
Okay, thank you very much, Gracie, for that presentation, and we will pass to the second video of the ISVV. Okay, so after this presentation of the ISVV, we will pass now to Inno'vin cluster.
Anna, do you think maybe we should open questions for the ISVV, just 5 minutes before
Yes.
Inno'vin?
Okay,
so
perfect.
It's a little more connected.
Perfect.
And I just wanted to specify this last video was about continued formation. So this is after the bachelor, high school, and master's degrees, really open for any wine professional. So you can see there's many different topics open for anyone in their wine market career. And so if anyone has questions on the University of Bordeaux Wine and Vine Institute, I'd be happy and try to answer. I'm not an expert, but I can get you in touch with the right people.
Hello,
Becca.
Gracie.
Hi, Becca.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. I have just one very quick question. Where can we see these ongoing projects and programs which are open and, as you have mentioned already, which is okay for after bachelor and master degree and who are already actually involved in the winemaking processes and which will help us for some like grow up our qualification and experiences also.
Yes, of course. So everything is available on the ISVV website that I will put in the
Okay.
chat. And then I will
Okay.
also send you brochures and put you directly in touch with the person that's in charge of these programs.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you for your answer.
And it's also possible to organize specific formations. For example, if there's a group of maybe winemakers from Georgia that want to come to the ISVV for 1 week and study something very specific, it's possible to organize on-demand diplomas. So we'll work with our formation manager, and she will create a class schedule basically for 1 week, and you will then have a formation in whatever you ask for.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's think about it. Thank you.
No problem. And I'll send you the information.
Okay, okay, great. Thank you so much.
Any other questions about the ISVV? Maybe Kedi, were you connecting?
Shadi. Wein geschrieben mit V. Was bedeutet das? V wie Vogel, Wine. Und mit Doppel-W.
Sorry,
Wine
Katie.
und Wein. Was ist das Unterschied?
Wine or vine? It's
Nein.
both.
Hast du gehört?
Ja, Vino. Vino ist halt.
Anna, maybe she doesn't realize her microphone is
I
on.
think they have some problem.
Okay. Okay, well, if then that's okay with everyone, I'll move to the Inno'vin presentation.
Thanks, Gracie. Perfect.
Okay. So as I was explaining about the ISVV, there are some spin-off units that are really related to the industry. And the company I work for, Inno'vin, is one of those. So Inno'vin is a French innovation cluster. So what exactly is a cluster? So not related to COVID, but a cluster is the whole wine ecosystem. So research, companies, consumers, suppliers, and producers. And so what is the goal of this ecosystem? It's to face the issues that you face, that winemakers face, by innovation that is created by supplier companies and then supported by research. And so similar to the ISVV, the main issues, the environment, quality, and the market. And what exactly is innovation? So we like to say innovation is not something just new. I'll use an example, not of wine, let's say vodka. So vodka is an innovation, but strawberry vodka is new. So I think it's important also to differentiate new and innovation, and we really focus on companies that have innovative services. So these are concrete solutions for the problems, the challenges that you're facing today. And so Inno'vin, like I said, we focus on collaborative projects, all kinds of projects with the wine producers, with research, with the suppliers like Luis, and with institutions like the ISVV. And all of this together brings up innovation to combat the challenges that the wine industry is facing today on all of the wine sector value chains. So from the planting of grapes, from the soil, to augmented reality on labeling. So there's really, we touch everything. We work with all projects in the wine value sector. So a little bit of history of Inno'vin. It was created actually at the same time as the ISVV. So the whole Bordeaux community around in 2010 was experiencing a real need to have something separate for the wine industry. And so supported by the council and producers, the CEVB is similar to the Wine Institute in Georgia and some companies to have really this body that connects the supplier companies to the wine producers, really listening to their needs. And so what do we really do at Inno'vin? So there are 3 actions in Inno'vin. One is project engineering, and I'll go into more detail about the project engineering in a second slide. The second is animating, which is really events. And so creating exchanges, having wine tastings, export meetings. So meetings for different subjects to really help people meet, put people in contact with each other. And then we do provide services, offering tours and research. So there's a technology watch, an email that's sent once a week with new technologies. We organize, like some of you visited our stand at the CTV exhibit in Montpellier, market studies and international projects. So a little more about the organization of Inno'vin. So there's 6 of us. When I talked about the animation, that's the 15 to 20 events per year, again, touching all parts of the wine sector. We have 180 members, and as you can see here, it's part of all of this ecosystem. So, oops, sorry. So 75% are the supplier companies, vineyard material, tech companies, consultants, nurseries, coopers, really any part of the wine industry that's interested, that has an innovative project, or that's interested in being part of a community, of the wine ecosystem community. Then there's the producers. And so these are the people where we really learn about what we need. So they'll tell us, we're really experiencing problem with diseases in the vines. Okay, so we'll try to connect to a researcher and to a company that specializes in diseases of the vines. So the producers are really who we're listening to be able to find these projects and solutions. Then, of course, there's the research. So ISVV, BSA, any other type of academic institution, and also institutions which we're very grateful for, supported the Nouvelle-Aquitaine region, and the French government, who provides lots of services and finances to be able to make things like this happen. So I wanted to explain a little bit more about the project. So what do we really do in the projects? Let me just, So we find a company will come to us and say, I'm going to keep using this sampling valve as an example. So these are 2 young engineers that created this sampling valve. And they said, okay, we need help. We are engineers. We are not business majors. And so how can we make this, our idea, into a company? So we help them measure the scope and the market of their project. We help them to create this idea into an actual document, and then finding scientific, technical, and end user partners. So for example, the scientific and technical partners, we put them in contact with the 2 transfer technology units that I talked about in the previous presentation. And these technical transfer units, they tested this product. And then we can help look for funds, public, European, some private, but mostly public, and help these ideas come to life in the wine market. So here's some other examples of products. So there's a selecting device by berry size, softwares to optimize wine production and vineyard management. So you can see any type of project, and what we do, we'll work with the creators of this company, help them prove the results of their product with wine producers and with research, and then finally have promoting events to be able to put this solution to the market. And that brings us to the international aspect of Inno'vin. So for the first few years of Inno'vin, we were focused on really this project support. And then we realized that, oh, these projects have now grown. There are some companies that are already established, but they want to get bigger. So the idea is to bring this French innovation abroad and support these companies' international development. And so I talked a lot about we listened to the wine producers and the winemakers. So the international program, we are now listening to the needs and the challenges of winemakers all over the world, including you, those of Georgia. And how do we do this? By creating an international network, helping international projects. So by being a part of this program that is led by Anterco, and then also organizing a roadshow in several countries, which I'll talk about after. And so for this international program to be successful, we worked with three other partners. So the ISVV, like I mentioned before, to have this research element, Vinitech, which is a big trade fair this December, and then Anterco, as you all know very well, the International Cooperation Agency. So we all work together, and all of this is made possible by the region of Nouvelle-Aquitaine, which is very important, that we have support from the region to be able to promote French innovation abroad. So I wanted to give you an example of a successful collaboration that was presented, that happened because of the international project of Inno'vin. So with South Africa. So first, there was already a link between Stellenbosch and the ISVV. There were some scientists that knew each other. There had been some projects, but there was already a small base of communication and of connections. And so we kind of grew this connection to create really a network. So the French CCE established in South Africa. We had a lot of startups from the Nouvelle-Aquitaine region who had a whole program in South Africa. There was an innovation summit. So there's lots of things that can happen with these links among wine communities. And next I'll talk about the International Roadshow, and especially because our first one was in Georgia in 2019. And so what exactly is the Vinitech Innovation Tour? What are these roadshows? So it's a week of discovery and business with 4 actions. First, scientific conferences. So we bring researchers from the ISVV that are specialized in the needs of the country. So it's really important. We work with our consultants, they say, okay, for example, I was in California, big need, irrigation. So we will try to find someone that is linked to irrigation and protecting the vineyards. Next is business meetings to connect our supplier companies to the needs of the wine growers. Technical visits, because it's very important for the French suppliers to understand how the wine is actually made. When we were in Georgia, to see the actual Cuevre making, it's very amazing. And you know, we can hear about it, we can read about it, but it's really important is to have the winemaker explaining to us their vineyards and how they make their wine. And then of course, networking event. So as I said, Georgia was our first Vinitech Innovation Tour, which kind of led to the connections to be able to do this project and to keep the collaboration. And that's what's really important about Inno'vin and our international program. We don't like to do a one-shot event. So we didn't say, okay, 2019, we've already been to Georgia, that's fine, we'll go somewhere else. No, the idea is to keep working, to have contacts, to maybe do a collaborative project with white wine and Cuevre aging. So it's really important to have a continued relationship with our partners. So exactly to end, like I said, what can we do? Many collaborative projects, European Union or other, soft landing programs, training programs. We're open to any kind of innovative and collaborative project in the wine sector to create these synergies and strengthen what already exists. So I thank you for your time. I would also like to thank Anterco for asking us to be a part of this French Digital Week. And I'm open for questions if you have any.
Thank you very much, Gracie. So now you could activate your microphone and camera if you want to ask directly questions to Gracie.
And I just want to say, before I started working at Inno'vin, I said, what is a cluster? I don't understand what's a wine ecosystem. So I hope that I was able to explain, because it's a concept that's a little bit, you're like, what? But the main idea, you know, is connecting the needs of wine producers to research and to the market.
Okay.
Yeah, Gracie, you made it clear. Thank you.
If you want, Gracie, you could close your presentations like that at the participants. Yes, thank you.
I have a question actually.
Yes, Helen.
Well, I don't know if you know more about that, but do you know how the small trainings in ISVV, these 1 week trainings, how it work? Is it necessary to have a group of a minimum people, a number of people, and then at the end you get a certification? I guess it's there is a price also. I don't know. Do you have more information about that or no? Maybe
Yes.
not now.
Yeah. So for the small groups, so there's 15 people minimum. And this is because there are resources, so administrative, teaching, there is a class that is actually created. So 15 person minimum. And if I'm not mistaken, a 1 day minimum. So 7 hours. And that's important because it's not just a technical conference where a researcher will explain their latest research. It's really a class. You can have a test at the end or not. That's also based on if you want to test your skills, or you can just have it as a class. So 15 people minimum, 7 hours minimum. Okay. And the price is dependent on the subject and the time, the number of people.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end, you get a certification. I mean, the trainees.
You get a diploma. You get a diploma. Yeah,
right.
From the ISVV, specialized in whatever topic that you were trained on.
Okay, yeah,
great. Thank you. Okay, I just see Bondo, he wrote a question in the chat. He says, please tell us for Inno'vin next event with Georgian wineries, I mean in the future.
Yes, well, something in the very near future, Inno'vin participates in the European Connecting Wine Sector program organized by Interco. So I will be in Georgia in March.
From the 5th to the 12th of March, we will be there. Yes.
And so I'm sure these lovely ladies will communicate any information and events. And then we're also in the very early stages of another project with Cuivre and white wine aging. So very, very early stages, but hopefully in the next couple months and years, we'll come back related to that.
Yeah, and the idea when we will in Georgia from the 5 to the 12, we can speak more about your project of experiment about aging white wines and to see how it works in Cuivre and to compare. And that's a very exciting project you have.
Yes, we're excited. Thank you.
Yeah, so it will help you get more information and contacts.
And, oh no, it's okay.
Yeah, no, Tracy.
Well, I was just going to ask, it might be hard because there's a lot of people. I was just going to ask if you're okay that Interco shares your contact information with Inno'vin so that if we have international events that we can get in contact with you as well.
If the participants are okay, absolutely.
Yeah. Because also, like I mentioned, Interco is our strong partner in international cooperation. So a lot of these projects, of course, we work together for the wine sector.
So anyone has any other questions? We are arrived to the end of our today's session and the end of our French Wine Digital Week. So now is the moment to ask to Gracie if you have any other question. No. Okay.
And I hope to see you in Georgia. Thank you.
I'm gonna share just a little image. So as Gracie said, we will be in Georgia because this European project consists of missions in France and in Georgia. So our last study visit will be from the 5th to the 12th of March. We will be in Georgia with the French delegation participants, in which Tonellerie Sylvain with Luis Fernandez and Gracie from Inno'vin. They are two companies that make part of this project. So we will be in Georgia. So you could see the contact emails of my colleague Elena and me, Interco, and of Ekaterine, that is our Georgian local partner of this project, is the National Wine Agency of Georgia, that she is connected and she was with us present and participated the entire week. Thank you very much, Kato, for helping us and for really being a very good partner with us during this entire project. And
Thank you all.
I don't know, Kato, you want to say a word?
No, not really. Nothing to say. I'm just thankful for you, for your work, and for your partnership.
Great, it's mutual.
I think
so
that it was
that's-
very interesting. This week was very interesting, and hope that in March your visit will be interesting as well.
Totally,
for
we're
you.
working, totally, and we are already working a lot with Kato and the wine agency preparing the mission of March. So we hope that it will be a great mission. Thank you very much to all the participants who were present from Monday to today in all our activities of this French Wine Digital Week. Normally, it was due to be physical, the Georgian participants coming to France, but COVID situation doesn't allow, but we shift to adapt and to make it this digital format. And I think that it was very interesting to allow to many other Georgian actors that are not of the project, but that works and they are very interested in the wine sector to participate this week. And I don't know, Christine, do you want to say a word? Okay, no, really, thank you very much to everyone. You know our contact, you have our emails. Feel free to contact us if you want to receive more information. We are available, and the idea of this European Union is to connect companies in France, in Georgia, all the wine sectors. So see you soon. Yeah, sorry, my colleague Ellen is telling me if you agree, if you could activate your camera to make a last photo to close and finalize this French Digital Week.
Sorry, Anna, maybe Becca had a question.
Becca, do you want to say something?
No,
okay.
I just wanted to say thank you for everything and hope see you soon, Georgia.
Great, absolutely, Becca. So I don't know, we're missing some participants. Do you want to activate your camera? It's just 2 seconds, a screenshot, and that's all. Well, maybe not, no worry, we'll do the screenshot as okay. So 1, 2, 3, cheese, smile. Great. Thank you very much, everyone, and see you soon. Have a good day.
Thank
Thanks
you.
again.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.